guys.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're live. Hi, good morning. Yeah, we're live on Facebook. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're all busy. Okay, would like to say hi to our 28 participants. Wow, on Zoom, and then for those who are watching on Facebook, please tag your friends. And I would like to say hi to my co-admins Michelle, Marvin, Manuel, and Ethel. And still hi to Gladys. Okay, so yeah, welcome back. So I would just like to welcome back. Hi, Sir DJ, how are you? Sir DJ, your mic is on mute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry about that. Yeah, hi. Nice to be back. What did I say? I'm drowning.
yeah.
I'm drowning in work. Yeah.
Oh, you are so busy with your work. But first, I would
Yeah.
like to read this post from yesterday.
Oh,
Eto,
okay.
Sir DJ, yung thank you message. Thanks, I don't know his name. Thank you for your free live session at IFNG, especially to Sir Lee J, with his teaching such as pocket parks and urban parks, which I use on my speaking test. I got score of 8. Wow, sa speaking. Mm, and now processing my US visa. I'm forever grateful because of your effective approach in teaching. Genuinely more power and success. So thank you so much, Sir Lee J. Imagine yung chance na mabago yung buhay ng isang tao.
Nakakaingit nga kayo eh. I mean, my God, hindi, ano lang, pwede bang magdi-distress lang ako ng konti.
Sure,
Alam niyo
sure.
ba, kayong lahat na nandito, sa totoo lang, bad trip kayo. Naiinis ako sa inyo. Bad trip kayo. Bakit? Naka-9 ako eh. But I'm not earning as much as those of you like si Sir Jeff na nasa ka ba kayo? Anong state
Nasa
ba
South Carolina na ako na
South
ulit.
Carolina, $35 an hour. Tama ba ako? Lapit
ano?
Ayaw mo
Depende
sabihin,
sa
ibig
area.
sabihin tama. Ibig sabihin higher. Alam nyo
Pero
kasi,
sir, sorry, as a beginner kasi, if you're new, first contract, medyo mababa pa starting.
Oh, of course. My auntie is a nurse practitioner, okay, in Las Vegas. She's earning like over $100 an hour. The last time I spoke to her, which was like 3 years ago, it's probably higher now. Okay, so I know some of the salaries there can be tremendous. Kaya nga sabi ko, nakakainis kasi naka-9 ako pero hindi ako kikita ng ganyan kasi I'm in the Philippines. You know, kayo guys, kailangan nyo na maka-7 sa speaking, tsaka 6.5 the rest. Okay na kayo, my God, ang swerte ninyo. So, huwag kayong magpabaya. Grab this opportunity. Kasi I've been teaching for almost 17 years. Ang daming kailangan mo nang bumagsak bago nila kailangan masampal muna sila. So, wala lang. Sige, okay na ako.
Sir DJ, may share ako at pwede mong i-share din to sa mga student ninyo.
Okay.
Because usually, yung mga nurses to USA, they tend to ignore yung writing.
Yeah.
Kasi ang score lang is 7 sa speaking and then kahit ano na sa writing. Pero nung nagda-license endorsement ako dito sa South Carolina, may mga kasabay kasi ako na ibang nurses din. Pero nire-require kasi ng board dito walang mababa sa 6 and nagpabaya sila sa writing. So now they need to repeat the exam.
Oh, shucks.
So everyone, if you're taking exam, make sure na your best na. Huwag yung pabayaan din yung writing kasi you wouldn't know kung saan kayo pupuntang state. Malamang paulitin kayo ng English exam. Like yung iba kong kasama sa Nevada naman sila, so nire-require naman sila ng PTE. So iba-iba.
Sayang naman.
Yeah.
So if you want to get promoted, all of your skills have to be good enough. Kasi the higher up you go, the more writing you do. Okay. Di naman ganun kahirap sa una lang.
So yeah, that's it. So as much as possible, kuhain nyo na ng one time para hindi na kayo ulit.
I think I remember that message that you read kasi I think yung lesson ko is about speaking, and then para lang po sa kaalaman ninyo, those who are just joining us today, hindi lang techniques yung kailangan nyo rin ng konting knowledge. So I just predicted na lalabas yung test na yun. Tiyempo naman, lumabas sa test ni Sir. Okay, so ayun, naswertihan naman po. So ano lang to guys, the more effort you put into it, um, the better the chances of you passing. Nakakatuwa naman yung message niya, pero sasabihin ko lang, hindi ako kumita doon. So, parang habang tumatanda ako, mas gusto ko na ng pera kaysa sa thank you. Eh. Parang nababaliktad na kaya.
Pero maraming
Anyway,
views.
Sir Jeff, may tanong yata yung participant natin, si
Ano ko lang, if
Desiree.
writing ba, dapat isulat pati yung pagsagot mo. Answer sheet mo. Sa writing naman, di ba? Kung computer-based ka, direct mo na yun doon. Hindi siya familiar, first time na ata, Sir Lee J. Mag-e-exam.
Okay, sayang once a month lang ako dito. But I mean, there are other excellent lecturers naman. Ano lang, no? What you'd realize if you watch the different lecturers. Ako yata yung pinakaiba yung style no, Sir Jeff. Hindi ko masyadong alam eh. Pero...
Yeah, as per word kasi, they're saying na talaga more on quality. That's why, sila. Mas gusto nila yung focus sila sa student para sure ball, pasado. At hindi lang basta pasado.
Hindi ako masyadong traditional. In fact, wala nga akong PowerPoint na naman eh. From the head lang. Sige, to avoid wasting people's times. Okay, let's get started siguro, Sir Jeff, para makatulog tayo agad. Ay, sorry, morning pala dyan. Okay, guys. So, start now. Welcome to the session. Please feel free to ask anytime. I don't mind getting interrupted. Walang problema. Magtanong lang po kayo. Okay na okay sa akin. As I said, I'm not very traditional in my approach. Okay, so wala. Please feel free to interrupt. Go ahead and ask. I don't really care. Okay, so let me share my itong PowerPoint na ginawa ng kasama ko. Okay, dahil hindi ako yung gumawa dyan, just for presentation sake. So, have a look at this one. So, welcome to today's session. Title nito, Hack the Listening Test. Band 9 can be easy. So, for those who want to ask about the other portions of the test, like writing, reading, speaking. Unfortunately, that's not my topic for today. Okay, listening lang. But you are more than welcome to attend. There are other guests in this group of excellent guests. Watch them also. You should watch as many experts as you can. Okay, kasi we have different approaches, and who knows, you might find the perfect teacher for you, and then that's good for you. I'm not claiming that world English is the best. We're the gatekeepers to knowledge. No, hindi po. Kanya-kanyang standing yan. Okay, some people like our style, some people don't. Same with the other review centers. You just have to shop around and look. Okay? And please lang po, huwag nyo lang pong ibase sa presyo because you know what they say, you get the quality that you pay for. Kung masyadong mura yan, kunwari sinabi, 1.5 unlimited. Naku, magduda ka na, 1.5 unlimited. What are they paying their instructors? Okay. Medyo ako, mas tiwala ako pag mahal eh. So anyway, yeah, it's all about the listening test tonight. Okay, and if you have questions, please type your questions in the chat box or in the comment box. Sabi dito, we'll be having a Q&A session at the latter part of the presentation, but you don't need to wait for it. If you have an urgent question, tanong nyo na po. And if it's relevant, I'll answer it as early as possible. Walang problema. Ask and you shall receive. Ika nga. Diba? Galing sa Bible. Enjoy the webinar. Do not hesitate to ask questions. It's free, and your host, that's me, is supposedly an expert on the subject. Well, I hope I am. For your sake, tingnan na lang natin. No? I'm not gonna say I'm an expert. You decide. Okay, and information about our company review programs will be given at the end of the session. So this is me. I started teaching in 2005. I teach almost all the subjects in the review center. Ielts, OET, actually, I like teaching OET better than IELTS. Mas gusto ko po siya because it's more challenging because of the medical aspect. I enjoy especially the speaking part. I tremendously enjoy that. Gustong-gusto ko siya. Unlike in the IELTS test, medyo nakakamurit po yung speaking. Okay. Um, I passed the civil service exam on the first try. Okay, that was back in 2010. Okay, what I also teach call center language training. Okay, for newly hired agents usually. Okay, because I live near Clark, there are a lot of call centers here. So paminsan-minsan sumasideline pag malaki yung offer. My overall IELTS score is 9. So yeah, I guess I do have something to say. Okay, of course, I didn't get 9 the first time I tried. My very first try, and I will feel old because of what I'm gonna say. The first time I took the IELTS test was in 2006. So medyo patanda ako ng patanda. Okay, that was like, how many years ago was that? Uh, over, over, over 16 years. I think about 16 years ago. Okay, hindi naman ako naka-9 noon. First try ko 8. Okay, but eventually, step by step, I got there. I got 9 on my third try. All right. So 2006, 2012, 2019, 2021. Okay, yan. Nagsipag 9 na ako in the last 2 tries, 2021 last year and 2019. Okay, I'm still civil service eligible. I'm a Cambridge CELTA holder. I only know 3 instructors in the Philippines who have, of course, I don't know all the instructors, no. Within this circle lang na ginagalawan ko, I only know 3 of us. Okay? So, why? This is probably the most expensive TESOL course in the world, and it's Cambridge, of course. It's 5 weeks of intense, oh my God, intense work. I don't want to do it again. Okay, and finally, my favorite qualification. I'm not blonde. I don't have an American or British accent. Pero naka-9 po ako. So, wala sa accent yan. Okay? Nasa dito. Nandito sa nasa discard yan. Yes, sabi ni Sir Jeff, yeah, let's make this interactive. You can ask questions. Of course, habang libre. Although in my experience, people like asking pagbayad na eh. Sige, pwede rin kayo magbayad kung gusto niya, wala problema. Okay, so the title I chose is Hack the Listening Test. Band 9 can be easy. Yes, no, according to data, it can be easy. Why? Pinakamaraming nakaka-9 sa listening. Okay? With our students, I'm not surprised when somebody gets 8, 8.5, even the 9. Yeah, we do get 9s from time to time. Okay, pero yung 8, pretty normal. Why? Nakukuha naman yan sa You can do it through sheer repetition kasi yung listening. Unlike it's harder to learn in comparison. Harder to learn speaking and harder to learn, especially writing. Pero yung listening, ito yung pambawi nyo, especially if you're going to Canada, for instance, or the US. If you're going to the US, they want the average, diba? Average 6.5, as long as you get 7 in speaking. So panghilan nyo yung listening because writing scores tend to be lower for people going to the US. Okay, usually 6 lang nakukuha niyan. So yung listening, you can easily get 7.58 in that one para mahila po pataas yung score din. Let me unshare. So what do you need to know about the listening test? So do not move oops. How do I unshare? Just close this. So just listen, no? Just listen to this, okay? For the listening test, okay, it's the first one out of the 4. So listening, reading, writing, speaking. Okay, it's the first one of the 4. Okay, it's 40 items. Importanteng tandaan yun, 40 items. And you need what? You want at least a band 7, right? Ilang points po ang band 7? Band 7 is usually 30 or 31. It's not fixed. Okay? Hindi po siya fixed. Minsan 30 lang siya. Minsan 31. So depende. I think it would be better if I present the visuals again. Para hindi kayo masyadong mahirapang mag-notes. Okay, take a look at this. So this is the format of the listening test. So you have, it usually lasts for 30 minutes, okay, more or less. And then, if you're taking the paper-based test, okay, you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Somebody was asking about answer sheets earlier. Yun po ang chine-check nila. If you have nothing on your answer sheet, guess what? You're gonna get a band score 0. Okay? Dapat nasa answer sheet. They will not check your answers on the question paper. You have two sets, right? A question paper and an answer sheet. Hindi nila chine-check yung question paper, answer sheet. Now, if you're taking the computer-delivered test, wala problema. Okay, bakit? You input your answers directly, okay, directly on the screen. Wala nang transfer. In fact, they won't even give you 10 minutes at the end. Ang binibigay lang la extra 2 minutes. Would you like a sample of the computer-delivered test? Gusto nyo ba? Sabihin nyo sa akin, hanapin ko yung file. Hanapin ko yung website. Okay. Okay, a few people are interested, so I'm gonna give you the link. Actually, sige, lahatin na natin. Let's include the listening, reading, and writing. Kompleto na. Okay, so this is the IDP website. Okay, and I found out that this is very, very close to the actual test. Kaya ito yung paborito kong material when it comes to the computer-delivered test. Okay, so ayan po. Listening, reading, writing, and it has answer sheets and sample answers. Wala lang po niya speaking. And very useful. So familiarize yourselves with the module that you're taking. Now, if you're taking the paper-based test, use the proper materials, paper-based materials. Kung naman computer-delivered test, edi yung computerized material yung gamitin. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay? So going back. Okay, so it's approximately 30 minutes and then you have a few minutes to finalize, to transfer, to edit your answers. The listening test is composed of 4 sections. Okay, sections 1, 2, 3, 4. Palagay niyo ano yung pinakamadaling section. Siyempre, section 1, no? Okay, section 1 is like a warm-up. You know what? Everyone should get a perfect score in section 1. 10 points po yun. Everyone should get 10 points. Or sige, at least 9 points. Bakit? Giveaway lang yan eh. However, in my experience, I've been teaching for almost 17 years, people still make mistakes in section 1, which is kind of weird. Kasi ang dali-dali lang nila. And you know what? You know why people make mistakes? It's because they get surprised by the first few items because their minds are elsewhere. Hack number 1 sa listening and for the whole of the test. Once you're taking the test, there's nothing else. That should be your mindset. Okay? Forget about your problems. Forget about your work tomorrow. Forget about your lack of sleep for the past few days. No. Once you're there, forget everything and focus. Learn how to focus. Forget about your problems for the meantime. Bakit? Magbabago ba yung Magbabago ba yung sitwasyon kung iisipin niyo yung problema niya habang nagte-test? Okay, so many people have told me this, sir. Sayang, 1 point lang. Na-distract kasi ako nung una eh. Guys, focus. Okay, you can go back to your problems after the test. In fact, if you focus on the test, it might be the key para mawala lang ang problema nyo, yung mga utang nyo, yung utang na loob nyo sa mga auntie nyo nagpaaral sa inyo. Naku, mababayaran nyo lahat yan. Pag napasa nyo itong Ielts test as nakapag-work kayo abroad, yung mga utang na loob nyo, mababayaran nyo po yung mga yan. So, forget everything else. Sometimes people tell me, sir, may dumaan kasing may dumaan na ambulansya, na-distract ako. Guys, not an excuse. Okay? Lalo na if you're taking the computer-delivered test. Bakit? Sa computer-delivered test po, ganito, nakaganito kayo. Nakasuot kayo ng headphones. So, bakit? It will shut out the other noises around you. Of course, meron pa rin papasok, pero it's easier to concentrate. I think the warning is more applicable for people taking the paper-based test because I have experienced that. Sometimes in the provinces, okay, yung venue nila, katabi ng main road, may dadang tricycle, na-distract yung candidate. Okay, or merong ambulance na tumaan or may mga busina sa labas. Okay, expected na po. For those people taking the paper-based test, ang advice ko, get used to the distractions. Okay, you cannot expect it to be a perfectly quiet environment, ideal environment. Hindi po kasama talaga yan. Because in real life, it's also like that. Just out of curiosity, we have like 52 participants right now. Okay? Sige po. Can you just please type quickly kung ano yung module nyo para lang mas alam kong i-focus yung lecture ko. Okay? Are you taking paper-based? Type nyo na lang PBT, paper-based test. Kung naman computer-based test, CPT. Sige po. Please type in the chat box. PBT, CBT. Paper-based, computer-based. Curious lang ako. Okay, computer-based. Okay. Mas marami ang computer-based. Okay. You know what? I say good choice. Okay? For listening lang po, I'm not talking about the other parts of the test. Pero if you just want to focus on listening, magandang choice yung CBT. Bakit nga? The chances of getting ambient sounds is lower because of this. Okay? Ang ganda ng ginagamit nilang headset. Secondly, you will have controls. No? You can actually increase or decrease the volume by yourself. Excuse me. You don't even need to tell the invigilator. Okay, na pakilakasan, pakiinaan. Okay, po yung advantage siya. Ano ba yung advantage ng CBT? Of course, the results for the computer delivered test, they come out faster. So, mga 3 days lang po, out na yan. So, kung nagmamadali kayo, the computer delivered test is the way to go. Paper-based test will take a bit longer. All right? Probably 2 weeks. Okay? Or 10 days, 2 weeks. Mga ganyan po. Ano pa ba? However, ito problema ng computer delivered test. It's harder to make notes. Kasi kasama sa techniques yung paggawa ng notes, yung pag-encircle ng keywords. Okay? You can draw arrows, you can draw symbols. Okay? And when one technique kasi sa listening test for the paper-based test is, when you're taking the test, sulat nyo lang shortcuts. So, imbis na the United States of America, type mo na, sulat mo lang USA, and then during the 10 minutes, pwede mo na siyang isulat ng buo. If you're the type who benefits from notes, medyo mahirap siyang gawin pagdating sa computer delivered test. Okay? So yeah, so which one should you take? It depends on your needs. My suggestion is, why don't you try out both sets of materials? Anytime nyo pareho, I already gave you the link for the computer delivered test. It has listening, reading, writing. So try nyo. Then you try some material for the paper-based test para malaman nyo kung ano yung masiyang sa inyo. Okay? For older for older candidates like me, usually mas gusto nila yung paper-based because that's what you've been doing since elementary school. But for the younger set of people who are more comfortable typing, for those people who have ugly handwriting, mas bagay sa kanila yung computer delivered. So pili lang kayo kung anong masiyang sa inyo. You do it by experimentation. Let's use science. No, let's not be emotional. My God, Filipinos are so emotional in everything. No, let's use the scientific approach instead. Okay. So 4 sections. Section 1 is the easiest. It does get harder as you progress. I hope we have enough time today to finish one practice test. Nag-prepare ako ng practice test, guys. Okay, hindi ko lang alam kung matatapos natin. 40 items in total. You need, if you want a band 7, 30 or 31 points, 10 items per section. And it's the same for everyone. If you're taking the paper-based test. If you're taking the computer-delivered test, usually, mga 8 to 10 terminals yan. Okay? So, if you're taking the computer-based test, usually iba-iba yung listening, iba-iba yung reading, iba-iba yung writing. The computer randomizes the test. So even if you do this, you take a look at at the screen of the person beside you, iba po yung test niya, you will not benefit from it. It's gonna be a different test. Baka yung kamukha ng test mo yung nandun sa dulo ng row. Even the person at your back will have a different set of listening, reading, and writing. So yung cheating na yan, okay, it's almost impossible when it comes to the computer delivered test. mas madali siya gawin sa paper-based, but of course, don't cheat. So, it's not high school. You know what's gonna happen to you if they catch you cheating? You get 1 warning. Okay, kung hindi masyadong blatant yung ginawa niyo, but you do it again, they will ban you. I know some candidates who were banned from taking IELTS for 5 years. Okay? Pero malala yung ginawa nun, grabe. Nakakaya because he's from my province, Pampanga. Okay? He got banned because of dishonesty. Okay? 5 years lang naman. We can wait 5 years bago siya mag-IELTS ulit. Okay? So don't do it. They're very serious about test security. Okay? So listening. Yes. So some advice po now before we proceed to the practice test that I prepared. Okay, this what I'm gonna tell you is from experience. All right? So hindi galing sa mga textbook o yung mga nakikita niyo sa YouTube videos. From experience po ito. Okay? Um, first of all, you need to track your progress. Okay? That's one of the important things. Okay, we have a good question here. May tanong na agad. Sabi ni, okay, nag-private message siya, hindi ko babasahin yung pangalan. Sabi niya, if ever hindi ko po na-meet yung band score na kailangan, okay lang po bang mag-retake after a month or a week? It depends. Kulang ka lang ba ng Kulang ka lang ng 0.5? Kailangan mo 7, nakuha mo lang 6.5. Okay, sa listening. If you're gonna take it really seriously for a week, pwede ka na mag-retake after as soon as possible. Pwede. Okay, pero I doubt na makakapag-register ka for a week before. Usually 2 weeks ang binibigay nilang deadline dyan. Maybe for computer-based mas mabilis. Okay, pero is it advisable na mag-take? Well, syempre, if it's too soon, it's risky. Baka magsayang ka lang ng pera. I mean, naka 6.5 ka, magre-retake ka para maka 7. Ayaw mo bang mag-spend ng 1 month o kaya 3 weeks para naman ma-8 mo na or ma-9? Remember, when they, when the time comes for promotion, okay, syempre, yung mas matataas yung qualifications yung titignan nila. Guys, yung papasukin nyo, hindi naman election eh. Sa election, yung mga qualified yung nanalo, di ba? Kayo, you're you're entering a professional field. Qualifications ang importante, yung diploma nyo, importante, yung mga scores nyo, importante. Hindi pwedeng well-mannered lang kayo. Kailangan qualified. Okay, sorry. Kung gusto niyo ng well-mannered lang, magpolitiko na lang kayo. Okay? So anyway, ma'am, yan. Baka naman gusto mong tagalan ng 1 week. Mas maganda yung 3 weeks kaysa sa 1 week lang so that you can get a much higher score. Sayang kasi, di ba? Mas mataas yung grade mo, mas maganda yan. Guys, if people are offended by my comments, like what I just said, my political comments, just tell me and I can kick you out. All right? So just tell me so I can kick you out of my lecture or you can malag out na lang po. Okay, tsaka joke lang yan. Huwag masyadong balat sibuyas. Right? Another message from Mark. Maya Pabeni, sir, any suggestion? Okay, na-stuck sa pakikinig, nakakalimutan ng sumagot. Oh, really? Okay, Mark, first comment is very good. At least you know your problem. The first step to fixing a problem is to admit that you have a problem. Okay? Paano ba natin? First time ko marinig ito. Na-stuck sa pakikinig, nakakalimutan ng sumagot. Ganito lang yan, sir. Huwag mong bibitawan yung lapis mo. Okay? Huwag mong bibitawan yung lapis mo. Secondly, huwag kang titingin kung saan-saan. Tingin ka lang sa test paper if you're taking the if you're taking the paper-based test. Or tingin ka sa screen mo if you're taking the computer-delivered test. Okay? First time, hindi ko pa may nakit makanyang klaseng question na. Bayuini ka na ako. De, Mark. Sige. Sa una lang yan, Mark. Masasanay ka rin. Next. Ha. Okay. So, kala ko question yan. Okay. Alam problema, sir. Alam problema. Agyo mo yan. Kapampangan ka. So, going back. Nasaan na ako? Guys, tanong. Have you started your efforts to increase your listening score? Okay? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Do you know if you're progressing or not? Yeah, sorry. Parang nag-i-improve naman. Guys, hindi pwedeng parang. Proof ang kailangan. When was the last time that you've done a listening group? How many have you done in the past month? Anong oras mo ginawa? Anong score mo? Anong pangalan ng test? Okay? Hindi ba mas maganda kung meron kayong, you have an Ielts notebook. And then every time you do a listening thing, lagay nyo lang doon. What date? what time, what's the name of the drill, and then how many points you got. And then you can actually graph kung nag-i-improve kayo o hindi. Okay, huwag niyo i-base sa feeling, i-base sa data. Tapos, okay, may mga questions pa dito. Kaya kailangan, hindi ko nga itong participant screen natin. Okay. Sige, walang problema. Itong mga tinatanong niyo right now, masasagot ko yan. Okay, here's a good question. Pwede bang magpa-remark sa listening bands? Or guys, when it comes to remarking, okay, halos hindi na nagbabago yung score sa listening and reading. Yeah, I've encountered students na nagbago ng konti yung score nila, pero mga 1 point lang yan. It didn't really affect their scores. Okay? Pero usually, because it's an objective test po, no, yung listening and reading, it's objective, the answers are exact. Most of the time, there's no change in score. Okay, if you got a failing score in listening and reading, I suggest wag na kayo magpa-remark, mag-retest na lang kayo. Okay, however, mas malaki yung chance na magbago yung score when it comes to writing and speaking. Guys, before you go for a remark, kasi mahal po, it's expensive. The last time, magkano na ba siya ngayon? Ma'am Chat, do you have any idea magkano na ngayon yung fee ng remarking? Sendan mo ako ng message. Okay, nintay ko lang yung yung kasama ko, no? Oh, L says it's 6K. Yeah, ang natatandaan ko around 5K. Okay, but that was before the pandemic. Okay, so hintayin ko lang yung yung kasama ko, she's updating right now. Okay, but guys, it's gonna be at least 5,000. No? Sabi ni L, 6,000 na ngayon. So, hindi po siya mura if you want to have your test remark. Ganito po. Okay, if you trust your teacher, okay, mag-consult muna kayo sa teacher niya because a good IELTS instructor can take a look at your scores and then consider your skills and can give you advice kung malamang tataas yung score mo. Hindi. Ako, that's what I do for all of my clients. Kung gusto na magpa-remark, I tell them, just show me your results first. Patingin muna ng scores niyo and I will give you advice kung tataas yan. Okay? Well, I can give you advice right now. Ganito kung mataas yung scores mo sa listening and reading, like you got 8. Okay, listening 8, reading 8. And then speaking mo, hindi umabot 6.5. Tapos yung writing mo 7. Okay, there's a pretty good chance that if you haven't remarked, tataas talaga yung grade mo. Why? Usually, writing yung pinakabababa. If you got 7 in writing, it means you're probably a 7 or 7.5 in speaking also. Okay, so malaki yung chance. However, okay, if you only got 6.5 in listening, 6.5 in reading, yung writing mo 6, tapos yung speaking mo 6.5, you know what? Huwag niyo nang pa-remark. It's probably accurate. Kasi these skills, they don't exist in isolation. Tandaan niyo po, in real life, connected lahat ng listening, reading, writing, speaking na yan. So, if you want to see kung may chance na tumaas yung score mo sa isang area, tingnan mo yung ibang areas mo. Kasi usually hindi nagkakalayo yan. Ang difference lang nila, ang difference ng speaking sa writing is usually a 0.5. That's normal. Okay? Ang difference naman ng listening, reading, as compared to speaking and writing is usually 1 bad score lang at most. Okay? Pag masyadong malayo yung mga differences niyan, there's something strange with yours. So ano po, consult with your teacher, consult with your instructor. And if they pay attention to you, if they really know you, kung talagang nakakausap nila kayo ng like 50 minutes each session, they should be able to give you good advice. Sa amin po kasi, okay, I see some of my students in this session, tanongin nyo sila. Okay, ang session namin, yung one-on-one sessions namin ay 50 minutes, 50 to 55 minutes. Okay, minsan nagwa 1 hour kapag walang kasunod. Because I heard in other review centers, parang 15 minutes lang kayong kinakausap. Ano matuturo sa inyo 15 minutes? Very basic lang. Tapos nagmamadali kasi may next class na. Guys, come on. Okay? A one-on-one session should at least be 30 minutes. Alright? Okay? Kami, ang one-on-one session namin, para nakita ko kanina si Ma'am Ara dito. Ma'am Ara, di ba tayo, almost 1 hour yung one-on-one natin. Kung nandito ka pa, i-confirm mo na lang.
Yes, sir. More than pa nga po madalas.
More than pa madalas. Ang sipag mo, nandiyan ka na naman. Okay. So anyway, Ayan po, naka-enroll sa amin si Ma'am Mara. Almost an hour yung one-on-one namin. Anyway, let's go back to your questions po. Okay. Sabi ni Desiree, parang nakakakaba yung test, nakaka-mental block. Guys, Desiree, that's normal. Congratulations, you are a totally normal human being. Kung di ka kinakabahan sa test, robot ka. Alam niyo ba ako, naka-9 na ako ilang beses na. Okay? Ang dami ko nang na-test. Okay? Hanggang ngayon, kinakabahan pa rin naman ako. When I speak in front of people, okay, kapag malalaking audiences, pansinin niyo yung left hand ko laging gumaganyan, no? Hanggang ngayon, kinakabahan pa rin ako. Guys, it's normal. Being nervous is normal. Okay? You ask some of our best singers right now, may kababahan sila. Okay, pero pagdating nung test mismo, game time na. Yun ang difference eh. Yun ang difference ng successful people sa mga unsuccessful people. Okay, failures, they let their nerves get the best of them. Okay, hindi. Dapat performance level, the show must go on. Tandaan niya. That's the attitude you should have. So going back to my advice, are you tracking your progress? I-track niyo yung progress niyo. Kahit sa notebook lang, gawa kayo. O kaya, gawa kayo sa Excel file. Pwede rin. Ang dami naman pong paraan eh. Pag gusto, may paraan. Pag ayaw, may dahilan. Sir, busy kasi. Hindi, sir, okay lang. Natatandaan ko naman yung scores ko. Your memory is not perfect. Human memory is fallible. So, first step, please track whatever you're doing. Hindi lang po listening. Pati yung reading nyo, pati yung writing, tsaka speaking, yung scores na binibigay, yung assessment na binibigay sa inyo ng mga instructors nyo. I-record nyo para makita nyo yung overall trend. Nag-increase ba o parang walang improve? Secondly, are you doing this on a regular basis? Okay, because I've encountered a lot of people who get so frustrated. Sir, I've done like, na po ako, dami ko na nagawang listening test, hindi tumataas yung score ko. Bakit hindi tumataas? Kasi pala, ang ginagawa nila, parang 10 days in between before they do another one. Guys, kayo ba, are you doing drills once a week? Okay, sa mga nagsimula na. Okay, how often are you doing your listening drills? Once a week? Every day? Kung tatanungin niyo ako, if you want to succeed, it should be every day. Sir, busy, that's an excuse. Okay, kasi meron talagang mga once a week lang nag-drills, tapos gusto nila, tumaas ng gusto yung score nila. Come on, be realistic. Okay? Kahit na nakaban na yung teacher nyo, hindi naman siya magte-test, kayo ang mag-i-exam. Okay? You ask yourself, okay, kung di kayo nag-i-effort, alam nyo, malamang ayaw nyo lang aminin, ayaw nyo talaga mag-abroad. Napipilitan lang kayo, pinilit lang kayo ni auntie. Okay, ni uncle. Okay? If you don't want to leave the Philippines, you tell your relatives. Pwede naman maging successful dito sa Pilipinas kung may milagro. Okay, so ayan po. Are you really serious about what you're doing? Okay? Yung iba, yung mga varsity players, they practice 4 to 5 times a week in the morning and in the evening after recess. May mga kaibigan akong varsity players natin sa university. Okay? Sabi ko, grabe sila mag-practice. Okay, sila yun gusto lang manalo, magagaling na yun. Bakit tayo? Ayaw natin mag-practice. Guys, minsan ang kinakabagsak ng tao, it's not the English, it's the attitude. I'm telling you this now. I know you've probably heard this before, but it's true. Now that I'm older, I'm realizing it's more of the attitude of the student. Okay? Tapos ito pa meron ang susunod na sasabihin niya sa akin, Sir, ginagawa ko naman araw-araw ng listening ko, tsaka reading every day. Gagawa ko isang listening drill, isang reading drill. Okay, bukod sa quantity, quality. Baka naman yung review ninyo araw-araw nga, pero low quality. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng low quality na review? Ito you tell me kung na-describe ko kayo. May di-describe ako, maybe I'm describing you. Okay? Gagawa ng listening. Okay? Pakikinggan. Okay? Number 2, number 3, tatapusin. And then, i-check yung sagot. Bubuksan yung answer key. Parang ganito. Ayan, ito yung sagot. Ito, number 21, number 40. Okay, bubuksan yung answer key. And then, shit. Naka 27 na naman ako. Okay, alam niyo yung mali niyo, why you're not improving? Because you didn't listen to the recording again. If you really want to maximize your material, both your listening and your reading, no? Yung pong mga reading passages na yan, idadamay ko na yung reading, pinabasa yan at least 3 times. Yung naman listening, yung recording, pinapakinggan yan a minimum of 3 times. The first time that you listen is when you do the drill. The second time, when you check your answers, you should listen to it again. Huwag yung tinitingnan nyo lang yung listahan ng tanong. Tapos, number 1, A, number 2, B. Okay, kung mali yung number 1 mo, listen to the recording and figure out why you made that mistake. Diba? Yung mga correct answers niya, huwag niyo nang i-figure out. Di na kailangan. Ang figure out lang po yung mali. Okay, ba't ka magsasaya ng oras? Tama na yung sagot. So, pakinggan mo ulit siya and then understand why you made those mistakes. Alright? Yeah, ulit-ulit. Kailangan ng repetition. Ganun talaga eh. Bakit? Kayo ba marunong kayong mag-insert ng IV? Isang beses lang pinakita ng instructor nyo, nagawa nyo na perfectly. Bongga kayo, galing nyo. Yay! Congrats. You're not human. Okay? Repetition po yan. Diba? And then, the third time, habang nagugas kayo ng pinggan, pakinggan nyo uli yung recording. Huwag nyo nang tingnan yung questions. Listen to it like you're listening to the radio. Use it to replace your music. Or habang nagbibiyahe kayo, instead ng nag-browse kayo ng fake news sa Facebook o kaya sa Twitter nyo, sa Instagram nyo, okay? Mag-play na lang kayo ng listening reel. Huwag nyo nang tingnan yung questions. Okay? Because yung pong pakikinig na dinescribe ko, iba-iba yung purpose niya. Okay? When you listen for the first time doing the drill, okay, you are familiarizing yourself with the test. Okay? Format familiarization yun. Yes, kahit pare-pareho yung pinapakinggan yung material, iba-iba yung skills na tsaka yung areas na tinatamaan nyo doon. Okay? So, first time you do it, you're just familiarizing yourself with the test. Second time is you're learning about yourself, why you make mistakes, and you're learning how to avoid those mistakes next time. The third time that you listen to the recording without looking at the questions, you're trying to learn the sounds. You're trying to learn the rhythms. Okay? You're trying to learn the speech patterns of the speakers. My good news ako sa inyo. Ielts has been employing the same core group of people, the same core group of voice talents for the past 20 years. Sila lang, pag marami na kayo nagawang listening, mapapansin niyo, merong 4 o kaya mga 5 tao doon. Para mula Cambridge 1, lalo na yung lalaki, na yung lalaki malaki yung boses na laging ginagamit sa Section 4. Okay? Okay. Cambridge 1 pa lang, ginagamit na siyang voice talent. Nakailang books na ba yung Cambridge? Mga 15 Cambridge compilations na hanggang ngayon ginagamit pa rin yung boses niya. Okay? So you're just getting used to these people and eventually matututunan niyo yung voice patterns na mas madali yung test. Okay? So I hope hindi kayo yung na-describe ko na isang beses lang makikinig, gusto nila okay na. Hindi po. 3 beses papakinggan yan minimum. Kasi po, iba-ibang areas ang tinatry natin tamaan. Okay? Yeah. I hope you got that. So, pa rin congrats sa mga nagwa-quantity dyan na araw-araw gumagawa na ng listening. So, next yung itanong sa sarili nyo, effective ba yung araw-araw ko? Baka naman kasi mas maganda na gumawa na lang kayo ng bago every 3 days. Every 3 days. Kasi yung isang material, papakinggan nyo ng 3 beses, di ba? 3 araw na yun. Day 1, gawin mo yung drill. Day 2, pakinggan mo lang yung recording habang check mo yung sagot mo. And then day 3, you just listen to the voices and to the sounds. Huwag mo nang tignan yung questions. Okay? Yes, yeah, I expect some of you will be guilty of this kasi ang dami ng estudyante. Ganyan din sila. Pag nagpunta yung student sa akin, so di tumataas yung listening ko, interviewin ko sila, na-discover ko, kaya naman pala ginawang snack yung listening test. Hindi ginagawang snack yan. Ginagawang dinner yan. Nililimi yan ng gusto. Hinihimay yan kung gusto mo talagang matuto. Okay. Alam niyo bang Okay. How many of you have tried reading the transcripts? Alam niyo bang may transcript yung mga listening test? Malamang di niyo alam. Okay. Yes. So if you find that you can't really understand, oh my God, ang hirap ng accent ng speaker. Alam niyo bang yung mga Cambridge books, they include transcripts nasa likuran ng book. Okay? So kung di niyo talaga maintindihan yung boses, sometimes it helps if you read it. Okay? So for those of you who are having a hard time understanding the accents, kasi yeah, it needs time. You need time to develop that skill. I think it's advisable if you read the transcripts at the back of the book. Kahit na ng book, gamitin nyo yung maganda, magsimula kayo Cambridge 9, para ba, Cambridge 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Merong transcripts and I've discovered that these transcripts are underutilized. Okay? Kasi nung nagve-face-to-face classes pa kami, we include the transcripts. Hindi naman ginagamit ng mga students. Okay? So basahin niyo po yung transcripts. It's very, very helpful. And the additional bonus to that is you're also improving your reading skills. Okay? Ayun, no, sabi ni Jess, I saw the transcripts on the last page yan in the Cambridge books. Totoo po yan. Yes. Okay, so that's another thing that you can. Sabi ni Gito, kung pwede lang mag-walkout pag maliit ang score. Naku, oo nga, sayang di pwede mag-walkout. Advice lang, no? During the test, feeling nyo bagsak kayo sa listening, please don't. Please don't think that. Bakit? Ito yung madalas na mangyari sa mga students. Pupunta sa, may message ako after ng test, sir, tapos na yung test, feeling ko bagsak ako sa listening, pero confident ako sa speaking. Pagdating ng results, baligtad, ang taas-taas, yung feeling nilang bumagsak sila, halos ma-perfect nila. Nangyari na ba yun sa inyo? Feeling lang mababa yung reading, tapos nung dumating yung results, yun pa yung mataas. Yung feeling naman nilang maganda yung performance kasi, sir, feeling ko yung speaking maganda kasi nakasmile sa akin si Ara Escalante. Kaya nakaspell si Rosella Torre Campos sa akin. Nagne-name drop ako, no? Para di ko makalimutan mga pangalan nila. Na-examiner ko kasi sila. Okay? Parang, guys, huwag niyong ibase sa smile nila or ganun. Sir, yung kasing foreigner na matangkad, parang nakasmile siya sa akin. Baka naman nakasmile kasi, pangit, nakakatawa yung sagot niyo, nakakatawang mali, di ba? Huwag niyo ibase sa mukha nila. Okay? Do not judge yourself. You're not an examiner. Okay? Yung iba kasi, listening pa lang, alam mo, feeling nila mababa yung score, panghinaan ng loob, tapos madadama yung reading, madadama yung writing, madadama yung speaking. Remember, it's not over till it's over. Hanggat di nyo natatanggap yung test report form nyo, give your best in every test. Kahit feeling nyo papalpak na palpak yung listening nyo, okay, give your best in reading, give your best in writing, give your best in everything. Kasi alam nyo naman, di ba, in other countries, inaalaw nila yung tinatawag na clubbing. Clubbing is the combination of one test plus another test. I think in the UK, they allow it. Plus in other Commonwealth countries yata pinapayagan yung clubbing, yung combination. Okay? So sayang naman. Di ba? Malay nyo, pwede nyung i-allow nila bigla sa US yun, for instance. So do your best in everything. Wag yung bibigyan yung excuse yung sarili nyo para mag-fail. Oh, okay. Can I speak in English? I'm from Nepal. Okay. Oh, I thought everyone was Filipino here. No problem. I'll try my best. Although, Kapila, I'm still gonna lapse into my language from time to time, right? Because I'm actually not required to speak in English because, I've already passed the test and I don't want to give myself a hard time. But I'll try my best. Okay? You okay with that? Can I call you Kapila? Do you have a nickname? Kopi? Tila? What do I call you? Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna call you by your full name. All right. So going back, okay. What did I tell you? Yeah. Don't judge your own performance. Just do your best in everything. Okay. Because people always think they got high in one area, and then it turns out to be false. It turns out that they were mistaken. Okay. So don't let your emotions get the best of you. Right. Other tips I can give you in this thing. Someone asked me about multiple choice. Okay, I think it's best if I give you a walkthrough of the test, okay? Okay. All right. No problem. Okay, let me share my screen. Let's take a look at. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, I think I closed it. Is this it? No, not was technical issues. Hmm, I closed the file. Let me just open it. Okay. Oh, okay, so let's have a look at the sample test. Share screen. So please tell me if if it's not clear. I'll try my best to make some adjustments. I hope I can. Let's enlarge. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. This is the largest I'm able to fit. Just bear with me. Clear naman po. Nababasa naman din. Are you able to read the text? Uh-huh. Okay. Good. Good. Getting good feedback. So here, let's take a look at the first section of the test. So it says here, okay, complete the notes below, write one word and or a number for each answer. Now, let's focus on the instructions first. Okay, next step. Yeah, can see number 10. Yeah. So next step po natin. The instructions are your friends. The instructions are very, very useful. They're not your enemy. Let me turn off my video so you don't get distracted. So instructions are your friends. The IELTS will never give you false instructions. Okay, whatever they tell you in the instructions, they will happen. So it says here, write one word and or a number for each answer. If you write two words, you're dead. It's gonna be wrong. Okay, it's impossible. If they say one word, it's gonna be one word. It also says and or a number. So you can expect some of the items here, okay, to be numbers. If there were no numbers, okay, in the answers, then they will not even say and or a number. This is not a generic instruction. Okay. These instructions are very, very specific to the test. Question. I have a question for you guys. I'm gonna write something on screen. Tell me if it's a possible answer, right? What if I answer uh 11 dogs? Okay. So according to the instructions, is this a possible answer? 11 dogs. It said, write one word and or number. Lagay nyo. Some people are saying, yes. Okay. Yes, Sir Harold, actually, that is an acceptable answer because it says one word and. And means plus a number. So pwede po siya. Right? Yeah, because some people think, no, it cannot. How about this? Here's our next item. What if I write 11? Oh, sorry, wrong spelling. What if I write 11 dogs? Okay, is that acceptable? Some people are saying no, some people are saying yes. Let's wait for the others. No. Uh-huh. Actually, it's acceptable because 11 is considered a number. Okay, pwede pa rin siya. Yes, it is allowable. However, Does it make sense for you to write it that way? But yeah, why you don't give yourself a difficult time? You might spell it in the wrong way. If you can write it in an easier way, just by writing one, just writing the nominals of the digits, then you do it that way. No need to spell it out. Okay? But technically, this is still acceptable. However, I don't think it's smart. It's smart to do it this way. Pero pwede po siya, just in case you do it. Okay? Now, let's move on. The title of this material is Moving to Banford City. Okay? Banford. Okay? A lot of Filipinos and foreigners, they say Banford. Banford. No, it's Banford. So everyone, can you please say it? Don't unmute. Just keep yourselves muted. Diyan lang po on your own. Banford City. Okay, I hope nobody said Banford. Okay, it's Banford. Or if you want the British style, Banford. Because the Brits and Australians, they don't pronounce the R. They just say instead of R. Oh, by the way, you'll be hearing a lot of that in the recording. Okay, because most of the speakers that they employ, they're Brits. Okay, so instead of garden, they're gonna say garden. Instead of parking lot, parking lot, you might hear parking lot. Okay, instead of flowers, you might hear flowers, flowers. Masanay na po kayo. Okay, that's called non-rhotic English. I'm gonna type that for those of you who are curious about it. Okay, dalawa kasi yan eh. Merong rhotic, which means they pronounce the R, like American English, and then Australian and British, it's called non-rhotic. Ayan. What kind of English are you gonna hear? And the Ielts says both. You'll hear both, pero a lot of it will also be non-rhotic. Okay? Sige. So moving to Banford City. There's an example given. Okay? Sabi niya, Linda recommends living in the suburb of Dalton. Not important. Doon na tayo sa accommodation. Oh, I think we should listen to the instructions first. Okay, I'm gonna play the recording, guys. Make sure that your pen and paper is ready. Okay, please ready your pen and paper. Please type ready kung pwede na. Please type ready when you're ready. Right? Okay, let's listen to this.
Press and Uckles 2018. This recording is copyright. CD 2. Test 3. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a man phoning a woman who lives in an English city called Banford to get some advice about moving to that city. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, Linda speaking.
Oh, hi, Linda.
This is Matt Brooks. Alex White gave me your number. He said you'd be able to give me some advice about moving to Banford.
Yes, Alex did mention you. How can I help?
Well, first of all, which area to live in?
Well, I live in Dalton, which is a really nice suburb. Not too expensive, and there's a nice park.
Linda recommends a suburb called Dalton, so Dalton has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Okay. So it said answer questions 1 to 5, right? So when you do your analysis, don't look at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You only take a look at the numbers that they mentioned. Right? Sir, isn't it good to look ahead, to read things in advance? Not in the IELTS test. Maybe in high school, yes. Maybe in university, yes. In the IELTS test, no. If they say 1 to 5, they will only play the answers to those numbers. So wag na, don't load your brain with stuff that you don't need yet. Mamaya na. Okay? And also, make sure that before the recording starts, you've already done a thorough analysis. Okay, so try to anticipate what kind of answers are they looking for. Okay, and more importantly, more important than the answers, you try to anticipate what kind of tricks they will use on you. Because yes, there will be tricks. If they just answer the questions directly, then it's gonna be too easy. Okay, it's not a hearing test, it's a listening test. Magkaiba po yun. Listening requires analysis. Listening requires critical thinking. Okay. So, tingnan natin. Number 1, accommodation. Let's take a look. Average rent, blank pounds a month. Do you think they will mention accommodation? Maybe not. Maybe they will change it. Do you think they will say the average rent for this place in Bedford is? No, it's too easy if they mention everything exactly. You expect them to paraphrase. Paraphrasing means they will change the words. Let me ask you guys. It says here blank pounds a month. Okay, what words can they use instead of a month? Can you type your answer in the chat box? A month. No. A month. Monthly. Yes, Sharon. Good. What else? Quarterly. No. Quarterly is 3 months. Ang tinatanong, ang pinapalitan, what they're replacing here is a month. Every 30 days. Every 30 days. Okay, per month. That's more realistic. Monthly. Yes. Ano pa? Each month. That's another one. Okay, good. Good guesses. There's a possibility they will stay a month, but there's a bigger possibility that they won't. Okay. Also, by the way, if you're taking the paper-based test, you only transfer what's written on the blank. Okay, please notice in number 1, okay, the pound sign is not included in the blank. It's outside the blank. So when you transfer your answers, don't include that sign. You only transfer the answer in the blank. Because if you do, it's going to be considered a mistake. Okay. Obviously, number 1 is some sort of number. So what trick can they do here? Okay, how will they try to confuse you? Okay, maybe instead of just mentioning one number, they might mention a few numbers, because people have this tendency to write down the first thing that they hear. Guys, even if you think you've heard the answer, you still have to listen. Anticipate the tricks. Okay, that's my best advice. People who can do this, these are the candidates who get a bad 9. And don't just anticipate the answer, anticipate the trickery. Number 2, Linda travels to work by blank. Can you try to guess what the answer is to number 2? This is very guessable. Train, bus, all of these are good answers. By cab. Ha! If you answered with more than one word, it's automatically wrong. Okay, you need to follow the instructions. All of your guesses are good, but not if they exceed one word. One word lang po ito. Okay. I'm guessing horse is not a possible answer by horse. Okay. Maybe by walking. Yeah. By car, by train. Let's see. Okay. Number 3. By bike. Oh yeah, why not? Yeah. Limited blank in city center. Limited blank. What kind of answer are they looking for here? Limited blank. I wonder. Okay. Next. Number 4. Trains to London every blank minute. So I think it's obvious, right? Okay, the answer to number 4 is some sort of number. And number 5, for train service at blank. So what are they referring to when they use at? At can be used in reference to places. It can also be used in reference to time. Pwede rin siya. But the clue here is it should be one word only. All right? Also, guys, do you think they will say poor train service in the recording? Maybe one of those words, but most of them, they will change it. Ito po, that's the secret to it. I think one of the best skills you can learn is paraphrasing. If you do that, you can definitely get a very, very, very high score. So let's play the recording now. Enjoy. Where's the recording? Here you go.
Hello, Linda speaking.
Oh, hi, Linda. This is Matt Brooks. Alex White gave me your number. He said you'd be able to give me some advice about moving to Banford.
Yes, Alex did mention you. How can I help?
Well, first of all, which area to live in?
Well, I live in Dalton, which is a really nice suburb. Not too expensive, and there's a nice park.
Sounds good. Do you know how much it would be to rent a 2-bedroom flat there?
Yeah, you should be able to get something reasonable for £850 per month. That's what people typically pay. You certainly wouldn't want to pay more than £900. That doesn't include bills or anything.
No, that sounds all right. I'll definitely have a look there. Are the transport links easy from where you live?
Well, I'm very lucky. I work in the city centre, so I don't have to use public transport. I go by bike.
Oh, I wish I could do that. Is it safe to cycle around the city?
Yes, it's fine. And it keeps me fit. Anyway, driving to work in the city centre would be a nightmare because there's hardly any parking. And the traffic during the rush hour can be bad.
I'd be working from home, but I'd have to go to London 1 or 2 days a week.
Oh, that's perfect. Getting to London is no problem. There's a fast train every 30 minutes, which only takes 45 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah, the train service isn't bad during the week, and they run quite late at night. It's weekends that are a problem. They're always doing engineering work, and you have to take a bus to Haddam and pick up the train there, which is really slow. But other than that, Banford's a great place to live. I've never been happier.
Wow, the female sounds a little bit Irish. So anyway, yeah, I hope you noticed some of the things that I mentioned there. And for example, in number one, she didn't say a month, she said per month. And she didn't say average. She replaced it with typically. And by the way, I highly recommend that you memorize these two voices. Fine. They're very, very, very familiar to me. Okay, I think they've been working for IELTS for a long time now. You will hear them in a lot of tests, these two voices, especially the guy. Okay, that guy is probably old now. Okay, what's your answer for number one? It should be 850. Yes, 850. And please don't spell it out. Just write the digits. Okay, so 850. Number two, Linda travels to work by, she said, bike. Question, what if you wrote bicycle? Is it acceptable? As much as possible, you just write whatever they actually said. I wouldn't accept bicycle. Okay, for me, it's just bike because that's what she said. It's a listening test. It's not a speaking test. It's not a writing test. So don't change, don't play around with the words. Just give them whatever they said. Right? Number three, limited packing. Okay. Limited packing. I told you they don't pronounce their R sometimes. So it should be parking, but she said parking. Limited parking. Number four, every 30. Okay, every 30 minutes. And then number five, poor poor train service at, yeah, she said weekends with an S. What if you write weekend? I don't think it's acceptable. What did she say? She said weekends, right? So that's what you write. Wow, good job, guys. A lot of you got a perfect score here. Just
Hi,
remember, yeah, hi.
father.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good. I just did
Um,
transfusion today. Blood
oh,
transfusion. I gave
okay,
blood.
let's mute Dover. So, where's that? Oh, please remember that this is the easy section, right? So, I really expect everyone to get a pretty good score here. And remember, I did the analysis for you. So I want you to try another drill by yourself, okay, without anyone doing the analysis. So since you're doing very well here, do you want to skip ahead to the more challenging sections? I'm pretty sure you're gonna get 6 to 10 anyway. Skip section 2, or do you want to continue 6 to 10? Jazz wants to skip. Okay. How about the others? 6 to 10? Okay, we have 2 people now. One says continue. Okay. People want to continue. Might as well. So here's 6 to 10. Let's do the analysis. Okay. So number 6. You know what? Wag na. Do it on your own. Okay, do it on your own. I'll help you with the analysis for the harder sections, right? So now is the time to test your sense. Play.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
There are some nice restaurants in the city centre and a brand new cinema, which has only been open a couple of months. There's a good arts centre too.
Sounds like Banford's got it all.
Yes, we're really lucky. There are lots of really good aspects to living here. The schools are good, and the hospital here is one of the best in the country. Everyone I know who's been there's had a positive experience. Oh, I can give you the name of my dentist too, in Bridge Street, if you're interested. I've been going to him for years and I've never had any problems.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I'll find his number and send it to you.
Thanks. That would be really helpful.
Are you planning to visit Banford soon?
Yes, my wife and I are both coming next week. We want to make some appointments with estate agents.
I could meet you if you like and show you around.
Are you sure? We'd really appreciate that.
Either Tuesday or Thursday is good for me, after 5:30.
Thursday's preferable. Tuesday, I need to get home before 6 p.m.
Okay, great. Let me know which train you're catching and I'll meet you in the cafe outside. You can't miss it. It's opposite the station and next to the museum.
Brilliant. I'll text you next week then. Thanks so much for all the advice.
No problem. I'll see you next week.
All right. I'm just weirded out. The female is speaking too slowly. The other tests I've done like over 100 of them, probably. Okay, they speak faster than this, so it's weird lang. But this is one of the latest tests. This is from Cambridge 13. So, wow, that's weird. Anyway, did you notice how they tried to confuse you? For number 6, they mentioned more than one. No? They mentioned a restaurant, a cinema, and an art center. Okay, so they're gonna start doing more and more of that. Anyway, number 6, cinema. Number 7, hospital. Number 8, dentist. Number 9, is it a Tuesday or Thursday? It's a Thursday. And finally, number 10 is a cafe. Some people spell cafe with a double F. That's wrong. Guys, wrong spelling is wrong. Right? Cafe is only a single F. So yay, congrats, you got a perfect score. 1 to 10. That's the easy section. The maximum number of mistakes you should make in section 1 should be like 1 mistake. Okay, I promise you guys, you can easily get a perfect score. Let's move on. Okay, this looks interesting. So it says here, let's zoom out. Oops, config that in. Section 2, questions 11 to 16. What advantage does the speaker mention for each of the following physical activities? Choose 6 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to G next to questions 11 to 16. I've seen people write the whole word. Guys, if there's an easier choice, you do it the easier way. Okay? Just write the letters. Also, don't expect them to just say advantages. They will paraphrase that one. So can you think of other words for advantages? Yeah, expect to hear them. Okay, let's take a look. A, not dependent on season. Because they have seasons there, not unlike in the Philippines. Okay, B, it's enjoyable. C, low risk of injury. D, fitness level is unimportant. E, sociable. What is a sociable activity? Swimming. No, maybe yoga. I don't know. F, fast results. And G, motivating. So this is easy. You can actually guess the answers here. The physical activities are 11, using a gym, 12, running, 13, swimming, 14, cycling, 15, doing yoga, and 16, training with a personal trainer. What are the tricks here? Expect them to paraphrase a lot. Don't expect them to just say not dependent on season. Of course not. They will change that. Okay. At this point, probably some of you will get left behind. Okay. Some of you might be looking at number 12 and then you already hear the answer to number 13. Yeah, it is possible. But remember, if it's just one item, okay lang yan. Don't let one item hold you back. It's just one item. If you realize that you got left behind for number 14, Okay, you didn't hear the answer to that one. It's okay. You can always guess later. Just work on getting the rest of them correctly. And then you can choose from the remaining options. Another piece of advice, please, if you're taking the paper-based test, don't hesitate to make notes on the paper. For instance, if you think they already used A, cross it out like this with your pencil. Cross it out, cross it out, cross it out. Okay? Don't just use an X mark like this, yung cute na X mark. No, it's better if you cross out the whole thing so you won't be reading it anymore. If you're sure that it's part of the answers. Okay? So now, I'm gonna play the recording. Okay, and I'm gonna be typing the answers as they appear, as they say them. Okay, lalagyan ko ng, I'm gonna put a check mark on the letters. Right? So please pay attention to the letters. We just remove my annotations. Let's zoom in. Remember, they will only play the recording for 11 to 16 for this one.
That is the end of section 1. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16.
One of those people.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Oh, no audio?
So, if you're one of the
Did you hear the audio, guys? It's okay? All right.
those people who hasn't found the perfect physical activity yet, here are some things to think about which might help you make the right decision for you. The first question to ask yourself is whether you would enjoy training in a gym. Many people are put off by the idea of having to fit a visit to the gym into their busy day. You often have to go very early or late, as some gyms can get very crowded. But with regular training, you'll see a big difference in a relatively short space of time. Running has become incredibly popular in recent years. That's probably got a lot to do with the fact that it's a very accessible form of exercise. Anyone can run, even if you can only run a few meters to begin with. But make sure you get the right shoes. It's worth investing in a high-quality pair, and they don't come cheap. Another great thing about running is that you can do it at any time of day or night. The only thing that may stop you is snow and ice. Swimming is another really good way to build fitness. What attracts many people is that you can swim in an indoor pool at any time of year. On the other hand, it can be quite boring or solitary. It's hard to chat to people while you're swimming lengths. Cycling has become almost as popular as running in recent years. That's probably because, as well as improving their fitness, many people say being out in the fresh air in a park or in the countryside can be fun, provided the conditions are right, of course. Only fanatics go out in the wind and rain. Yoga is a good choice for those of you looking for exercise which focuses on developing both a healthy mind and body. It's a good way of building strength, and with the right instructor, there's less chance of hurting yourself than with other more active sports. But don't expect to find it easy. It can be surprisingly challenging, especially for people who aren't very flexible. Getting a personal trainer is a good way to start your fitness program. Obviously, there can be significant costs involved, but if you've got someone there to encourage you and help you achieve your goals, you're less likely to give up. Make sure you get someone with a recognised qualification, though, or you could do yourself permanent damage.
Okay.
Before you hear the rest of
So I hope you got that. I think I shouldn't have checked it that early. I'm not gonna do that next time. To give you time to think about your answers. Okay, but hopefully most of you got that. Did you notice the tricks? So how did they try to confuse you? They changed, okay, of course they changed the words, but sometimes they also included like the other options in the answer. Okay, and that confuses some people. Let's continue. Yeah, going faster because time check, it's 10:32. Next, okay, this is more challenging. 17 and 18, write two letters, A to E. Usually for these types of tests, they accept the answer in any order. So guys, try to guess, right? Try to guess. They don't have to be in order. If you miss some of the answers, hulaan nyo, give yourself a chance. Anyway, there's a 20%, yeah, there's at least a 20% chance of guessing. Okay, so let's zoom out. It says for 17 and 18, for which two reasons does the speaker say people give up going to the gym? Okay. What they need to remember, what they need to remember for these types of tests, and they will likely mention all of them. So you really need to analyze, the context in which they're saying them. Okay. You have 5 options here, right? You will hear at least 4 of them. Because I know in easier tests in high school and in college, they only say the correct answers, but in the IELTS, they mention even the wrong answers. Okay. Numbers 9, oh, sorry. A, lack of time. B, loss of confidence. C, too much effort required. D, high costs. And E, feeling less successful than others. Of course, you might have some personal opinions about this, but your opinions don't matter. Okay? What matters is what the speaker will say. Sorry, respect my opinion does not work in the IELTS test. Okay? 19 and 20, choose 2 letters, A to E. Which 2 pieces of advice does the speaker give for setting goals? A, write down your goals. Uy, I would advise that. Okay, but my advice doesn't matter. What matters is the advice of the recording. B, ano to? Haven, achievable. I think this is a typo. It should be have. Okay, have. Please remove. Let's remove N there. Okay, where's my eraser? Here. Have achievable aims. C, set a time limit. D, give yourself rewards. And E, challenge yourself. Oh, all of these are nice pieces of advice. Okay, let's play the recording.
the radio program, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Whatever you do, don't join a gym unless you're sure you'll make good use of it. So many people waste lots of money by signing up for membership and then hardly ever go. What happens to their good intentions? I don't think people suddenly stop caring about improving their fitness or decide they have more important things to do. I think people lose interest when they don't think they're making enough progress. That's when they give up hope and stop believing they'll ever achieve their goals. Also, what people sometimes don't realize when they start is that it takes a lot of determination and hard work to keep training week after week, and lots of people don't have that kind of commitment. One thing you can do to help yourself is to set manageable goals. Be realistic and don't push yourself too far. Some people advise writing goals down, but I think it's better to have a flexible approach. Give yourself a really nice treat every time you reach one of your goals. And don't get too upset if you experience setbacks. It's a journey. There are bound to be difficulties along the way.
That is the
Okay, that was quite short. Okay, the answers number 17 and 18 in no particular order. Okay, B, C, Bravo, Charlie. You can also write Charlie Bravo, C, B, B, C, as long as you have that. If you only got one, then that's okay. That's 1 point, right? 19 and 20, that's B and D, Bravo, Delta. Okay, BD or DB in any order, that's acceptable. Bravo, Delta. Okay, I don't think we have enough time to finish the whole thing, so we only have time to look at one more section. Would you like section 3 or section 4? The Ielts says section 4 is supposed to be the most difficult, but my students usually say section 3 gives them a harder time. 4? Okay, all right. Section. Ooh, section 4. Do you want me to guide you, or would you like to try this on your own? Would you like my help in the analysis or not? Okay. All right. No problem, ma'am. So, what you need to remember for section 4 is they usually don't cut it into two. They cut sections 1, 2, and 3 into two parts. So 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 14, 15 to 20, 21 to 27, 28 to 30, or some sort of division. But for section 4, it's usually just, one recording, 31 to 40. Okay. And then take a look at the instructions. It says one word only for each answer. Another very useful thing to remember is in section 4, they will try to make you anxious. They will try to play around with your mind, okay, by starting the answers late. Sometimes it's been already 30 seconds without them saying any of the answers. It can be as short as, after 15 seconds or after 30 seconds. Don't panic. Just make sure that you've read the text and that you know the clues there, the words there. Okay. And if it takes them a little bit too long to begin giving you answers, don't worry, that's normal. They usually do that in many of the tests, right? What else? Yeah, and make sure that you read all of the questions before the recording begins. In my experience, they won't give you, enough time to read everything. So for section 4, read very quickly, read very fast. Okay. Anyway, title: The Sleepy Lizard. Tiliqua rugosa. Rugosa. Okay. Okay. Description: they're common in Western and South Australia. They're brown but recognizable by their blue something. Okay, so the answer to number 31 is some kind of body part, right? Okay, relatively large. Diet consists mainly of blank. Remember, it's one word. Okay, one word. Their main predators are large birds and blank. What's your clue here? Again, paraphrase, right? They might they might not use main or predators or large birds, especially large. I think they're probably gonna change that. Okay, 34, navigation study. These settings, by the way, are very important. I've noticed that some people tend to ignore them. So pay attention to these settings. Okay, they make it easier to follow the lecture. It's basically a lecture, one speaker only for this one. Okay. One study found that lizards can use the blank to help them navigate. Oh, if I were guessing, I'd say I have a pretty good guess here. This is something that a lot of animals use in navigation. Hulaan niyo. Next, 35. Observations show that these lizards keep the same blank for several years. Okay. Next, number 36. What people want. Possible reasons. Improve the survival of their young, but little blank has been noted between parents and children. Between parents and children. I cannot give you too many clues. I'm about to say the answer. Okay. 37, to provide blank for female lizards. They will probably change the word provide. Okay, if I were the designer of the test, that's the one I would change. And then maybe change lizards instead of female lizards. I'm gonna say female something else, or maybe even remove female. Okay. Now, the last portion is about a tracking study. A study was carried out using GPS systems attached to the blank of the lizard. So, guys, the answer to number 38 is obvious. It's some sort of body part. How will they confuse you? They might mention more than one body part. 39. This provided the information on the lizard's location and the number of blank taken. Guys, 39 is very easy to guess. Would you like to guess it now? Can you try to guess 39? I think it's very, very obvious. Oh, nilagyan ng GPS system. They put a GPS system. They attach it to the lizard. So what are they? What kind of information are they getting from that attachment, from the GPS system? Okay, the GPS system informs the scientists of the location of the lizard and the number of blank taken. What do you take on an everyday basis? Human beings also do this. You take food, the number of food taken. Oh, you have to check the grammar of your sentence. Okay, it makes sense, but it's grammatically wrong. Then it's not acceptable. The number of wings taken. Guys, what do you take every day? What do you take? Okay, number 40. This may be in order to reduce the chances of blank. Okay, let's play the recording.
End of section 2.
For dice.
Okay. Wait for it.
We started looking at reptiles.
Okay, here we go. Wala pa po. A few more seconds.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Last week we started looking at reptiles, including crocodiles and snakes. Today, I'd like us to have a look at another reptile, the lizard, and in particular, at some studies that have been done on a particular type of lizard whose Latin name is Tiliqua rugosa. This is commonly known as the sleepy lizard because it's quite slow in its movements and spends quite a lot of its time dozing under rocks or lying in the sun. I'll start with a general description. Sleepy lizards live in Western and South Australia, where they're quite common. Unlike European lizards, which are mostly small, green and fast-moving, sleepy lizards are brown, but what's particularly distinctive about them is the colour of their tongue, which is dark blue, in contrast with the lining of their mouth, which is bright pink. And they're much bigger than most European lizards. They have quite a varied diet, including insects and even small animals, but they mostly eat plants of varying kinds. Even though they're quite large and powerful, with strong jaws that can crush beetles and snail shells, they still have quite a few predators. Large birds like cassowaries were one of the main ones in the past, but nowadays they're more likely to be caught and killed by snakes. Actually, another threat to their survival isn't a predator at all, but is man-made. Quite a large number of sleepy lizards are killed by cars when they're trying to cross highways. One study carried out by Michael Freak at Flinders University investigated the methods of navigation of these lizards. Though they move slowly, they can travel quite long distances. And he found that even if they were taken some distance away from their home territory, they could usually find their way back home as long as they could see the sky. They didn't need any other landmarks on the ground. Observations of these lizards in the wild have also revealed that their mating habits are quite unusual. Unlike most animals, it seems that they're relatively monogamous, returning to the same partner year after year. And the male and female also stay together for a long time, both before and after the birth of their young. It's quite interesting to think about the possible reasons for this. It could be that it's to do with protecting their young. You'd expect them to have a much better chance of survival if they have both parents around. But in fact, observers have noted that once the babies have hatched out of their eggs, they have hardly any contact with their parents. So there's not really any evidence to support that idea. Another suggestion's based on the observation that male lizards in monogamous relationships tend to be bigger and stronger than other males. So maybe the male lizards stay around so they can give the female lizards protection from other males. But again, we're not really sure. Finally, I'd like to mention another study that involved collecting data by tracking the lizards. I was actually involved in this myself. So we caught some lizards in the wild and we developed a tiny GPS system that would allow us to track them, and we fixed this onto their tails. Then we set the lizards free again, and we were able to track them for 12 days and gather data, not just about their location, but even about how many steps they took during this period. One surprising thing we discovered from this is that there were far fewer meetings between lizards than we expected. It seems that they were actually trying to avoid one another. So why would that be? Well, again, we have no clear evidence, but one hypothesis is that male lizards can cause quite serious injuries to one another. So maybe this avoidance is a way of preventing this, of self-preservation, if you like. But we need to collect a lot more data before we can be sure of any of this.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute.
Okay, let me announce the answers. Number 31. By their blue. Did he say tongue or tongues? Did it have an S or no?
We started looking at reptiles, including crocodiles and snakes. Today, I'd like to have a look at another reptile. The Latin name is Ielts, or lying in the sun. I'll start with a general description. Sleepy lizards live in Western and South Australia, where they're quite common. Unlike European lizards, which are mostly small, green and fast-moving, sleepy lizards are brown, but what's particularly distinctive about them is the colour of their tongue, which is dark blue.
So he only said tongue, right? Okay, 31, tongue. 32, mainly. Okay, he said a lot of things, right? But we're looking for the main one.
In contrast with the lining of their mouth.
Okay, correct answer is plants for number 32. 33, did you answer cassowary? It's wrong. Did you answer cars? It's wrong. It should be snakes. 34, what's your answer for 34? Sky, good. 35. These lizards keep the same partner. Okay, 36. Little contact, good. 37. Protection. Okay, for those who got left behind, 31 tongue, 32 plants, 33 snakes, 34 sky, 35 partner, 36 contact, 37 protection, 38 they attach the GPS to the tail. Is it tail or tails?
Around so they can give the female lizards protection from other males. Collecting data system that would allow us to track them, and we fix this onto their tails.
Okay, for number 38, it's tiles. Not tail. Okay, you need, yeah, it needs to have an S. Bonggol. What's a bonggol? Bungol? Okay, I don't understand that. Bungal? Anyway, 39. I was giving you a clue, right? You had tiles. Yeah, the Australian accent can be a little bit different from what we're used to. Tiles. It was tails, tiles. Okay, yeah, sometimes they would ask, would you like to, what would you like to die? Instead of today, it's to die. Yeah. Nakakabingi. Yeah, of course, at the beginning, but you get used to it. Okay. So stop watching your non-English non-English shows and your non-English songs. A lot of websites advise you to watch TV, English TV shows. They advise you to listen to English songs. You know what? Let's skip that. My advice is just listen to Ielts listening tests. That's it, because that's what you're going to encounter in the test. Instead of wasting your time listening to British boy bands, why don't you just listen to these recordings? You use these recordings to replace your music. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. Anyway, 39 steps. Number 40, to reduce chances of injuries. Yes. Okay, and we don't have time for section 3. I think for this test, section 3 is actually more difficult than section 4, because the hardest test in listening and reading is multiple choice. Even though for this one they only have like 3 options, in my experience, multiple choice is the most difficult test of them all. It's not even true, false, not given, or matching paragraph headings. It's multiple choice. Okay, so just bear with me for a few more minutes. Let's close this session out. Okay. So final questions, please. Okay, kung wala na kayong questions. Yes, yay, congratulations. If you're consistently, now, try to do listening tests on your own. If you're consistently getting more than 30, then you can reduce, listening and then focus on the other areas, because a lot of you, like Sir Jeff said, have problems with their speaking and especially their writing. Totoo naman yun, writing is usually the lowest. Okay? So, promote ng konti, please bear with me. Here's a good question from Mark. Sir, pwede bang capital letter lahat? Yes. If you want, you can alternate problema. It doesn't matter in the listening and reading test. It only matters in the writing test. Under dupe. Yep. Okay. So, why choose us? Because if you want high scores, a self-review might not be enough. In our company, you have access to teachers. Okay. Not for 15 minutes, but for an hour. Okay. Almost an hour. We are a small company, okay, but we're highly trusted. We only have, we only have 2 branches right now, but you ask British Council about us, you ask IDP about us, they know us. Okay, we've been ranking with them for a long time. We don't employ a factory approach. Okay, we provide daily guidance if the students want it. Okay, we're flexible and we don't promise you any shortcuts like 25K final coaching, ganyan. No, wala. For us, it's really, it's really learning. And remember, you're not gonna use your English just for the IELTS test. You're gonna use it for the rest of your career in that new country of yours, right? So it's better to really learn it. Yes, we've been awarded several times since 2010 yata. May awards na kami sometimes. And last year, I was surprised. We were ranked top 3 by British Council, and I don't know how that happened. Okay, because we're just a small company. Okay, pero thank you na rin po. Okay, we're also recognized by IDP. We were top 1 in our region, in Region 3. Again, I don't know how we did that. Okay, if you want to see samples of my work, I've actually written books on writing task 1 and writing task 2, previous exams, and then I put my own answers there. So these are not plagiarized from Cambridge books. Okay, if you want to see something that a Filipino wrote, someone who got a 9, then yeah, these books are available. When you enroll with us, mention the discount with Ma'am Say or Ma'am Cha, and then alam na nila yon. Okay, sabihin nyo IFNG, right? If you're interested in OET, which is actually what I love teaching, okay, you can join our you can inquire here, our OET review page on Facebook, and this is our main page, Ielts, World English Reviews Ielts. Okay, and thank you. That's it for me. Do you have any other questions, po? Okay, some people are asking, sir, do you give private tutorials for writing and listening? Yes, of course. Just contact the numbers and tell the manager your request and they will deal with it. Okay? Although guys, mas mura ang full program kaysa sa one-on-one because for our private tutorials, we charge per hour. Okay? But in our regular programs, may kasama ng 8 sessions yun. That's already 8 hours of private tutorials and access to the materials, listening, reading, writing on the website. So if you ask me, mas ulit na yung full program kaysa sa one-on-one tutorial. Okay? It's 11. Thank you very much. Okay? Pahinga tayo. I still have classes tomorrow kasi na-cancel yung kanina. So, maraming salamat po. Good luck on your test. Okay, and God bless the Philippines. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir DJ, and to the rest of World English Review. And that's it for tonight. Have a great night. Bye.